Aries is a fire sign, ruled by the planet Mars. They are defined by a constant need for action, fierce independence, and a high risk tolerance. Opposite that is Cancer. Ruled by the moon, this water sign operates on deep emotional currents, relying on intuition and a constant desire for security. This diagram of a traditional zodiac wheel shows their extreme separation in astrological theory. Mars and the moon are positioned on completely opposite sides of the wheel. Placing a highly impulsive, risk-taking personality next to someone who prioritizes emotional safety above all else makes the pairing look mathematically improbable for a stable, long-term relationship. If you mix fire and water, the physics are unforgiving. Either the intense heat boils the water into steam, or the water rapidly snuffs out the flame. That elemental tension mirrors how these two signs make decisions. An Aries prefers to leap first and figure out the landing later. A Cancer needs to see the safety net before they even consider taking the jump. We have to ask the obvious question: by what exact mechanism do two highly contrasting personality types build a common, functioning connection? To understand the mechanics of this pairing, we first have to look closely at their emotional processing styles. An Aries processes emotion outward, often being highly expressive with what they feel in the moment. Cancers, by contrast, are deeply sensitive and process their feelings internally, keeping their emotional state heavily guarded. This chart maps their opposing approaches to intimacy. Aries maxes out on impulsivity and passion, while Cancer scores high on caution and emotional depth. Aries seeks immediate physical excitement, but Cancer requires a strong emotional bond before they can open up physically. When these styles meet, a perception gap opens up. Aries views Cancer as hesitant or overly sensitive, and Cancer looks at Aries and sees a reckless partner. Without deliberate intervention to bridge this gap, these distinct ways of operating cause a breakdown in the relationship mechanics. When managed correctly, those specific friction points become the basis for a functional partnership. If you look closely at the Aries personality profile, their constant drive for the next big thrill often leaves them without emotional grounding or a long-term sense of security. Cancer naturally possesses that exact emotional intelligence. They provide a nurturing, safe harbor that grounds the restless energy of the Aries. Conversely, a Cancer's need for safety can turn into a trap, keeping them confined within a highly restrictive comfort zone. The bold, spontaneous energy of Aries acts as the necessary catalyst, pulling Cancer out of their emotional shell and introducing them to new experiences. The compatibility here isn't based on similarity, but on how these contrasting traits can potentially balance each sign's psychological blind spots. To turn their natural opposition into this kind of synergy, there is one non-negotiable behavioral requirement: deliberate, open communication. For the Aries, this means actively practicing empathy. They have to intentionally slow down and respect Cancer's cautious emotional boundaries. For the Cancer, the adjustment requires developing self-confidence. They must practice speaking up and asserting their needs to prevent the forceful Aries personality from dominating the dynamic. When both partners make these conscious adjustments, the initial friction smooths out, and the relationship stabilizes into a highly enduring partnership. Assessing a relationship strictly by looking at individual sun signs like Aries and Cancer only provides a fraction of the data. A full birth chart, or kundli, shows the true complexity at play. Analyzing these overlapping planetary alignments and houses provides the necessary framework for a mathematically accurate relationship analysis. True compatibility involves successfully managing and utilizing the differences between two distinct individuals to build something stronger together. To explore your own full birth chart and uncover deeper astrological insights into your relationships, visit Zodiac Reads.